Good morning, everybody. I hope you're doing well. We're having a little bit of a late start to this morning today because this week has overall been a very big mess. Because on Sunday we came back home at around 5 a.m. since it was our Easter service and it lasted until like 4:30 a.m. And yesterday, me and my husband went to a folk concert for the Longest Johns. It was fantastic. But we got home at around midnight with our youngest. So we're very, very tired. The house is an absolute mess. You can see that somebody here decided to replace his sock with a cup. Hello! There's the Ah. But yeah, I need to get on tidying up because the mess keeps on growing by the second. Okay, so the plan for today is to eat breakfast and then to go outside. We might drive somewhere. We might go to our backyard, into our backyard, since the weather is looking a little better in a couple of hours, hopefully, and play outside for a little bit, then come back for an afternoon nap for my kids, and then to exercise and to go outside again, hopefully. I'm trying to do the 1,000 hours challenge where I bring my kids outside for a minimum of 1,000 hours a year, which is an average of 3 hours a day. We've been a little behind on that so far, but it is May and it's been pretty cold, and I started the challenge in February. And in February, you have to put like 500 layers on kids several times a day, which is kind of annoying. So hopefully we'll catch up as the weather gets a little better. So yeah, that's the plan. We'll see what we are able to achieve today. My toddler is back. So you'll hear him in the background. I just realized that this is not really a typical day of eating for me, just because we have some extra things in the fridge that need to be eaten, that we don't usually get. Typically, I would eat, this is raw ground beef. I would eat this with some beef liver and pork fat. But today we also have some short ribs in the fridge that need to be eaten. And this I absolutely hate, but I know it's really good for you. This is some fish roe. I don't know if it's shad roe, but some fish roe. Some fish eggs, unsalted. Everything here is raw and unsalted. And then we have some homemade kefir and some honey. I make kefir extremely, extremely sour, so I like to add some honey to it. But yeah, this is probably going to last me breakfast and lunch, and we'll see where we go from there. Hello. Hi. Христофор. Ку-ку. Ой, красота какая. Na 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 na. Na, 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 na. Okay, so we just got back from our walk. I put down the toddler. I'm gonna put down this guy as well. It's gonna have a little bit of a contact nap. And I'm going to read, eat, and drink a little bit. Jumping back in to talk about exercise really quickly. So prior to getting pregnant the first time around, I was of the opinion that you do not need to exercise in preparation for birth, like throughout pregnancy and before getting pregnant, with the exception of like mild stretching and walking. 2 kids in, I am of a completely different opinion. So after I gave birth to my first one, I thought that I would just walk around carrying him, and my back would naturally get stronger, my back and arms. That is not what happened. Well, it eventually did get stronger, but I had to go through a lot of back pain and a lot of back spasm, and it completely ruined my posture because I did not have the physical strength to carry my baby with like an aligned posture, so I had to overcompensate all the time. My second time round, my second child, even though he was born 2 pounds heavier, he was born like 9 pounds 3 ounces. And even though I spent way more time in bed after my second child because my organs were a bigger mess, I think it took me like 6 weeks to start walking comfortably postpartum, second time round. And even though I spent most of the time in bed and he was heavier, I found it so much easier carrying him around because throughout my because throughout my second pregnancy, I was hauling a 30-pound toddler around. So now I'm a strong believer that it is good to do mild workout, nothing too intense. You do not need to lift like, I don't know, like 150 pounds or whatever in the gym. But I think it is really good to do mild strengthening exercises like Pilates to align your posture and to strengthen your back and arms prior to getting pregnant and throughout pregnancy so that you have a certain physical preparedness for when after postpartum, like the first couple of days or weeks postpartum, you can start carrying your child and you don't experience as much pain and discomfort. I do know some women who didn't really do that much exercise throughout pregnancy and prior to pregnancy, and then through their postpartum started carrying their child and their back naturally developed the strength and they didn't feel any significant like strain or pain. However, I do know way more women who've had like 3+ kids, like 5, 6, 7 kids, who by their like 6th, 7th child are unable to carry their child because their back is in a lot of pain. Their posture in their older age gets really, really bad, and they're constantly suffering from backache and organ descent. So in order to prevent that, I think it's really good to do some diastasis recti work to repair the ab separation. And again, mild Pilates work. Like, I don't go to the gym. I can't be bothered to spend 20 minutes in the car, like to and from the gym. I'd much rather do like a 20-30 minute light workout, Pilates workout at home. That 20-30 minutes usually turns into an hour and a half because I do them with my kids. And they crawl all over me, but it is 20-30 minutes, and I've seen a lot of difference in how much easier it has become to carry my kids around, how much less back pain I feel, how much better my posture looks. And just overall, it just made my postpartum experience and my ability to carry my child way, way more better. Horrible English. Okay, so a whole day has passed. The pretty light is gone and the house is messier. And I'm gonna show you what I'm going to eat for dinner. My plan of eating a little earlier during the day did not work out because we were outside for like 4 hours. But yeah, today is not really a typical day of eating. I do have some stuff in the fridge that needs to be eaten ASAP because it's been in there for like a week. And I don't really like the taste of old meat. Old liver, yes, but old meat is not really great. It's very, very sour. So yeah, so here again we have some beef liver, some more raw pork back fat, just a tiny bit, ground beef, and some raw pork. I typically eat just ground beef, liver, and a little bit of pork fat. A little more pork fat in winter, a little less in the summer. And then we get like fancier cuts every once in a while for date nights. It's the same meat as ground beef, it just looks pretty, and I like pretty meat. I don't know how many calories I consume a day. If anybody cares to count that, go ahead. It's the food that I showed plus like 3/4 to a gallon of milk a day. But yeah, here is what I eat and do kind of in a day to prepare for a new pregnancy and to make sure that I have a good and healthy, nutritious milk supply. But yeah, thank you for watching. Peak of that lighting. Okay, so everybody's down. And I would like to just show the fact that my house does in fact get very clean in the evening, but nobody gets to see this except for me for like a couple of minutes before I go to bed. So here we go. We are ignoring the laundry pile over there, but here we go. We don't have a lot of toys, I don't think. I think the best toy is a stick. So we don't buy a lot of toys, but toddlers will use anything. And after brushing his teeth, my toddler decided that he wanted to go on another walk, so we have the shoes that are out again. But, It's pretty good.